So, I just finished watching I Am Not Okay With This on Netflix. And honestly, guys, I was pretty okay with it. Hi guys, my name is Maria Park and this is Approach to Nerd. In this episode, we are reviewing the Netflix series I Am Not Okay With This. So I really enjoyed it. Quick disclaimer, because of what's going on with the coronavirus scare, I work for a nonprofit. I'm a development coordinator, so my schedule has been all over the place. My organization's trying to figure out if we're staying open, if we're working from home. I'm getting a lot of work dumped on me from other team members and my boss. So my schedule is kind of all over the place, but I'm going to try very, very, very hard to get my at least minimum 2 videos out weekly because my schedule is crazy. So I'm just putting that out there. Now, I finally got a chance to check out the Netflix show. It's just, I liked it. I really did. I didn't want to do a non-spoiler review because I think by now, since I think it came out 2 weeks ago, a lot of people have seen it. If you have not seen it, please do not watch the rest of this video. So I'm not going to talk about everything, but I'm talking about stuff that I like have questions about, because it did this series, 22 episodes per, I think it's 22 minutes per episode, was very, very good. When I was watching it, it didn't feel like it was under half an hour. It literally felt like an entire hour. There's so much content and I loved it. So I just want to talk about some of the things that I have questions about. So a brief summary, there's a character named Sydney, or Sid, whose father killed himself. At the beginning of the series, she's in therapy with the school guidance counselor or counselor, and she gives her a diary where she starts writing down pretty much everything that she thinks sucks about her life, as therapy. And we see that her and her mother have a very turbulent relationship. The mother kind of feels like Sid preferred the father. She has a very sweet, precocious younger brother who I think is absolutely adorable. She has a kind of neighbor. He lives a little further down, but his name is Stanley. And Stanley is a very eccentric guy who basically gets her into hanging out, listening to vinyl records, smoking pot, but has a thing for Sid. And they do end up sleeping together, but I think Sid did it more because she has a crush on her best friend, Dina. So she's basically confused about her sexuality, but knows that she has a crush on her best friend. And so all this stuff is going on with her. And then the big revelation is that she actually has superpowers as well. And whenever she gets angry or maybe even scared, things happen. And I don't know all of her superpowers. I know that she was able to knock down trees, almost like a sonic blast. She destroyed the bookcases in the library at one point when she thought she saw someone. She made Brad, who is Dina's boyfriend, his nose bleed when she was jealous and they were sitting at the table. And of course, there's the ending, the finale. She exploded Brad's head when he found her diary and was reading it out at the school dance. So she has no control over these powers, and these powers are extremely strong, and we don't know the origin. We do know, this is where my first set of questions comes from. We do know that her father joined the Marines. We know that something happened and there was an explosion that killed everybody, I guess, on his team except for him. Now I want to know is, did the explosion come from the father? Did he start it? And that's why he survived. Or did his powers protect him? Because I don't know if he has the same powers. And this also makes me wonder if the father is actually dead. Because in this series, she starts seeing or feeling like somebody is following her. And her father actually, according to her mother, who finally talks to her about him, also thought a man was following, him. In the graphic novel that my daughter basically let me read after I watched the show, the person in the graphic novel is actually conjured from her own mind. It's like a sense of grief because her father, killed himself. But in the show, it's kind of open-ended. She doesn't seem to recognize the person. So it almost feels like it really is a tangible person that has the ability to kind of teleport away into black particles that dissolve. It's very mutant-ish or an X-Men-ish. I don't know. It's interesting. And at the end of the show, or the end of the series, she makes a comment or asks him, should I be afraid? And he says, no, they should. I don't know if he's talking about everybody in the town, because now this is the making or origin story of a villain, or the origin story of a superhero. I don't know. It could go either way. And I think that's kind of why I liked it. I think they are doing season 2, so it's going to be interesting to see how they pick up from that point. But yeah, she's either going to be a villain or going to be a hero. Or maybe he's not even talking about them. Maybe he's talking about whoever experimented on her dad and gave them powers and caused all this to begin with. Maybe it's like a revenge thing. Maybe it is her dad. And maybe he's like shrouding his face. And he wants his daughter to help him get revenge over the people that did this to them and broke up their family. I mean, who knows? He could have faked his own death. They never found the note. Apparently, there was no suicide note left. Maybe he was killed. Maybe whoever experimented on them killed the father because he was researching it or he was in too deep. I don't know. It's fascinating. It is fascinating to me. So yeah, this series, in my opinion, is pretty cool. I am eagerly waiting season 2. I want to know what's going to happen. I know that the diary at the end, when they were at the school dance, disappeared. It got kicked across the floor after Sid blew Brad's head off. And when I was watching the show, even from the first episode, when she was running bloody, I kept thinking, oh, this is a Carrie moment. If you watch the old school Carrie movie, not the remake, well, I guess technically the remake counts too, but like the old Sissy Spacek Carrie movie, that was in my head with the blood, and she's running down. I'm like, okay, yeah, she totally killed people. Did she kill everybody at the dance? Maybe, but no, it was Brad. By episode 2, I pretty much knew Brad was going to die. She was jealous of him. She has no control over her powers. She's into her best friend. And then he cheated on the best friend, and Sid was honest and told on him, and he decided to get revenge by stealing her diary and reading it and telling everybody, he was about to tell everybody that she thinks she's a freak with superpowers, but before he could do that, she says shut up and blows his head off. His head basically explodes, which is so funny because there's a scene right before the dance where he's talking to one of his friends and he says, tonight's going to be a mind-blowing experience or something like that, and then his head explodes. So yeah. I love it. I love it. I love that Stanley was playing the Cisco-ish role from The Flash. If you watch the Arrowverse shows, or the support person, Felicity, I guess it would be, who would it be really? Gamby, I guess, in Black Lightning. That's who Stan was trying very hard to be. And I thought that was cool that he was taking on that comic book trope. I thought that was interesting. And yeah, it's just, and the whole thing with Dina actually about to confess that technically she kind of liked the kiss. So I don't know where that was going to go, because that's when Brad decided to come and do his move, his dick move, and get his head blown off. And I don't know how you can come back from that. I don't know what kind of excuses anybody can make at the dance for his head randomly exploding. I don't know. I love when writers write themselves into that kind of plot device / finale where you're like, well, what's going to happen now? I mean, obviously if she goes back to school, people are going to think, hey, he was talking to you and then his head exploded. What the heck did you do? Or something along that line. And if they don't, it'll be very weird. So I don't know. But all I know is that this was a very cool series. There are so many hints that this could be military experimentation, it could be a virus, it could be aliens. There's so many little Easter eggs throughout the show that kind of make you question where the heck did these powers come from? And if there's Sid and there is the guy, are there others? And is her little brother, her little brother have it? And does the mother actually know what's really going on? I mean, who knows? So many theories you can form from this, but I just, in general, thought it was a great coming of age story, a really realistic view of a girl dealing with her coming out feelings for her best friend, and then a realistic view of her freaking the heck out over having these powers and not understanding where they're coming from, how to control them, and why she has them. All of that while dealing with something as serious as suicide. That to me, they blended that very well. So I definitely like what they did here. I heard that potentially the writer is not going to have it as dark as the graphic novel, because the graphic novel that I read, Sid ended up killing herself at the end because she couldn't control her powers. So like, I don't know if they're going to keep that in there in this version or not. I hope not, because it's so morbid. But you never know. But I liked it, and I am eagerly waiting for season 2. But I want to know what you guys think. Leave me a comment below and let me know. And if you would like to sign up for jury duty, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to know who's next on the Nerd Bell, hit the notification bell. Until next time, I can't wait for you to approach the nerd. Bye, guys. Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it. But hey, the party doesn't have to stop now. Click on one of these videos and keep it going.